terakhir terus group stage terakhir terus istirahat sekali 225.
Terakhir habisnya masuk main itu jadi beberapa game.
8 upper bracket, 8 lower bracket kayaknya.
Game. We've seen, say, 2 or 3 Earth Spirits, at least on some of our games, and appearing around some of the other ones going on. And we'll see how he fares here. It seems there's been maybe a slight shift into a meta where some roamers work a bit better than what people were maybe expecting. So,
yeah, I mean, the right fissure at the right time will help you win a mid lane, and I guess if you have a strong core to pair with Earthshaker like a Necrophos, it completely offsets it. So even though your laning is maybe not as good as long as Necro has first couple easy waves and he becomes a solo guy, and then the roaming is okay. So it's very much about what core you pair it with, and I think players have definitely started to really understand what the meta is, more or less, like what kind of heroes are you going to see, and they know that right now Necro is pretty solidified as a safe hero and as a core.
Shaman, this hero feels like a hero that can struggle a lot against Enchantress to me.
I could see that. I mean, you have a lot of damage, but he has attack speed.
Yeah, like your damage is just kind of negated by the fact Enchantress is at one point untouchable, and like Shaman's going to struggle to hit. You're also outranged. The level 1 Ethershock spam has been heavily nerfed as well on the hero.
But in the same vein, Shadow Shaman is going to have so much disable that Enchantress's high movement speed isn't as good. So I would say it's kind of a back and forth thing. And then if you pair it with a carry like Phantom Assassin, that hero's actually really good against Enchantress, because it doesn't matter that she reduces your attack speed. Your Blink Strike gives you 100% attack speed for 4 hits, so it can kind of offset her many skill points in the early levels. You pick up a little bit of minus armor, maybe like an Aquila or a Phase with that, or a Treads with that, and then Enchant doesn't start feeling as scary, especially if Shadow Shaman gets a drop on her before her heal comes out.
It's our first PA pick of TI8.
So still missing a good variety of heroes. Looks like 16, now 15 heroes that haven't been picked yet at TI. And I kind of expected to see her squeeze in eventually. I mean, she was played a decent amount during the qualifiers, EU at least. A lot of that was Magnus picks, kind of making her better. But against an Enchantress, I could definitely see her being a decent hero, and maybe against Venge as well. Swap her out of position, she can always blink away defensively, perhaps, back to her team.
It's crazy we haven't seen any Queen of Pain. That is a hero I'm just expected to see.
Maybe her lane's too obvious, and she's not as flexible in laning, and she always kind of goes mid, she doesn't have stuns. There's just better heroes, it feels like, that solidify games, like Storm. Storm's kind of taken her role, basically. Yeah. For her kind of play style of how she normally plays in Snowball stuff. Pugna, the pick for Liquid, I really like this one. Keeps the green lineup going, and obviously against a PA, a very strong pick. Lots of magic damage. You can decrep the PA herself. You can decrep yourself to get some survivability. A great solid snag here. And another ward as well against Necrophos, Shadow Shaman, or Earthshaker. That sounds good.
Yeah, having a decrep against some of the physical damage could be very useful. And this time around, Liquid's approach seems quite different. Last time it was like, these lanes are not going to go great, but we have this recovery through our big team fight, late game Spectre. This time you've got Pugna, Ench, Roaming, Earth Spirit, Venge. Like, all 4 of these heroes look very scary. The scary green men who are going to be messing up all of your lanes. And on the other side, it's Shaman, PA, Earthshaker. These are not lane dominators by any means.
Yeah, I think that's the reason they went for a Pugna here. Very good at pushing towers, obviously, but if they can do like a dual lane, off lane Pugna, that's a great way to abuse PA. Like, PA can jump on them, but if they have any resemblance of lane advantage, PA's kind of zoned. Like, that hero is quite crappy pre-6. And even once she hits 6, it's very dependent on how many items you have over your opponents. So if they get a decent lane in any way, Pugna's going to be able to abuse the PA and kind of force her out of lanes. This is a little scary for Mineski, considering that the other supports they have with it could also have issues.
See what the last hero is going to be. Could be a nice size hero depending where the Necro's going, or it could be something for Moon for the mid lane, and theoretically PA could even go mid if they want to pick a different
That's true.
safe laner, but
It'd be fairly safe. Like, you can last hit fine, you're not as pressurable. I could see mid PA. But it depends on the matchup, of course.
yeah, and you do a final last pick of the draft, so I guess you'll get a pretty good idea as far as what the lanes are going to be. You already have a pretty good idea at this stage already, I'd say. Well, maybe not. I guess Venge could be a farming core at this point. Don't even know. Earth Spirit, you know, is a 4. The question is the Enchantress a support played by Kuro, or is the Venge the support?
I guess I would say that at this point, putting Enchantress offlane doesn't sound good, because you always want your core hero in that lane, assuming they're going to stick around for more than 5 or 6 minutes. You want them to be able to, even if their supports leave, to still dominate that lane. And if supports leave and it's Enchantress versus PA, until they're 6 on Enchant, you don't really super win that. So I'd prefer that they have Pugna in whatever lane PA is, and that's your matchup that you want, because if he goes for last 8, you decrep him and blast him, he takes way too much damage. So Weaver would also work there. You can just Sakuchi to dodge PA, you're definitely more mobile, but if they get on top of you, Weaver's also a little dangerous. So Mineski can get some ground here if they do some like Shadow Shaman disables into PA jumps and get some Weaver kills.
This game looks pretty scary for Mineski's early game. If they can get some good farm and levels on some of these heroes, it could change. But even like heroes like Necros, you get some good farm and levels, it feels like you've been heavily countered. The Enchant, being able to dispel Ghost Shroud, and Pugna probably one of the best kind of Necro in the game. Something that I feel like early on in the tournament, whenever anyone was picking Necro, they were making sure Pugna was banned out, because it is just kind of a direct hard counter in most ways.
Keep him out of position. Anytime he throws a nuke, he takes far more damage.
Yeah.
Way to go. But I still don't know which way their cores are going to go. I could see Avenge core laning okay against a PA, just lots of nuke damage, just nuke her. It's the way to beat her.
Back to the Tiny.
Okay, so not unexpected.
Here that's, going to have a good lane, you got to imagine, or at least a decent lane. It will be an Ench core, so it's like Pugna is just going to go mid lane, presumably, but Liquid is a team who's mixed up the lanes from time to time. Some teams have run mid-ench, but I don't think that is going to be the call.
Yeah, absolutely not. You wouldn't be able to abuse... The hero's good because of Nature's Attendance abuse, so you got to put that in a side lane so you can trade hits more and chase people down and abuse your movements. So probably going to be Pugna mid, but kind of depends on the Mineski lineup. Tiny in this game, how does he fit in here? Got lots of burst, I guess, so it's good against Weaver and Chant Pugna, kind of, but lane-wise maybe hard because it's all range hero.
Yeah, I guess the idea is you're reversing a lot of very squishy heroes. All 3 enemy cores
5 seconds remaining.
Theoretically could be blown up by a combo. At some point they're going to get enough items where they get a lot scarier and tankier. But early on, when you first get that Blink Dagger or Shadow Blade, you can go around and use those combos to initiate and quickly bring down Ench, Pugna, or Weaver.
So if Tiny has a good game this game, different player this time, but if he has a good game, we could certainly see that Blink Dagger pay off in a big way. But can they win the lanes as hard as they did last game? And looking at the heroes that Liquid has, it doesn't feel like that off of what I'm seeing. It just feels like Liquid has much stronger laners. Very cool done based on Mineski too.
To me, this is going to be like a reversal where Mineski are the ones playing from behind, but unlike Liquid, they don't have that amazing team fight necessarily to pull them back into it. We'll see though. This is Dota, crazy things can happen, small little details or lane matchups that just aren't quite what you want. Could quickly see things swing other ways. By no means do I think this is like a heavy outdraft by Liquid at all. I mean, their whole draft looks very, very squishy, so if they make a few missteps in lane, they're going to very easily feed away some kills.
Yeah, and it could even without Earthshaker having a Blink Dagger, he's still going to be useful. Fissures into other people doing burst damage is also a big danger. So not bad.
So here we have it. Early smoke move out coming from Mineski. Jabs leading the way. Looking to get down some early deep wards. And ideally, of course, find an early first blood.
Gonna be hard against the Weaver, though.
Yes.
Very mobile hero, can go invisible. They popped the smoke a moment ago, so they're going to be invisible.
They're going to run right into Miracle here. They have got a long-range fissure.
Oh, they
Shackle.
shackle.
Oh, that is perfect. Fissure. Okay, a little bit too late. Jabs making a mistake there.
Are they going to get that kill either way, though?
They could fissure. It would have been a lot closer. I don't know if they would, because what level 1 fissure is 1 second stun duration. Would have been a lot more right clicks.
And I mean, they'd already used everything. Death Pulse is 8-second cooldown. They had Tree Grab on Moon because he needed it for last sitting. Just if they've Avalanche there, yeah, they can probably get a solo kill, or they can kill him with First Blood, but it's not worth ruining your laning stage for that.
Is this going to be the first blood? He does start or immediately turn around to run back to his tier 2 tower, but he looks done for here. He's being body blocked perfectly by GH, and there's no Avalanche, so first blood was so close for Mineski, but it ends up going the way of Liquid's GH.
So only benefit there for Mineski is at least it forced him to take Enchant on Enchantress, but considering that PA as a hero needs to do well in the laning stage to be a threat at all, or it has to be pressured, I mean, this is a great start for them.
That was just so clever too. They were waiting on that hill as bounty runes were spawning. They weren't even at the bounty rune locations. They were just like camping the hill, knowing Mushi was going to run up that way, and then after they get the kill, they walk back to pick the bounties up.
And Ninja Boogie's also got Shackles, which doesn't do nearly as much damage as it used to, so laning stage may be very different.
Everyone getting these odd level 1 spells. We'll see what the lanes look to be there. Pugna versus Tiny mid. Pugna going for the level 1 decrep just to try and mess with the Tiny.
Down here, Mushi does dodge the boulder, the rolling boulder at least, but every time they run at him, he's got to run so far away, and he's not going to trade well back.
And yeah, and even in this top lane Ninja Boogie, you're talking about pairing him with a PA versus, you know, an Enchantress. The core matchup is a hero that's just going to harass and be much stronger in lane, at least until PA gets some more levels in the dagger. So very hard stuff. Mineski to play this top lane. CS-wise, though, it's still looking okay for them. The cores aren't having too much of a bad time in lane, so by no means a one-sided affair.
Rolled on the top, get top. Enchant into rolling boulder.
Blink escape, yep, Ninja Boogie comes on over to give him a blink target, so he gets out okay, back in bottom lane, Necrophos and Weaver playing very aggressive down this bottom lane, going for the side chop here, he may pay the price here, luckily there's a Fissure to save him, but there's going to be a Gemini attack it looks like, no actually just a normal attack. He had a salve, if he got into the trees and survived that right click, he would have been able to salve up and turn it around.
Very, very close to surviving there.
Yep.
Big loss getting killed. But on the bright side, at least Miracle's pretty zoned, another salve being used, and again, a rolling boulder on Mushi.
Yeah, GH is playing ultra aggressive. He is having the time of his life, has the salve here, and he wants more. They're probably going to get Ninja Boogie as well. It looks like Ninja Boogie does have Tangos and salve himself. There's going to be a roll in a few seconds, and I believe with Mushi's TP, that's actually just going to deter them from chasing too much further. He rolls away. GH says, enough's enough for now.
This is a pretty catastrophic lane from Mineski so far. They can't feel good about this one. They're just the Shackles is just not accomplishing anything here. I don't know if his nuke would help that much more, but they're having a tough time in this lane. Just getting super outzoned.
Now GH has boot, so if he ever hits a roll in the Shaman, it's just he can straight up solo kill him.
He's got more than boots. He's got 275 on top of that. Yes, so farmed here. Mushi get nuked again, looking for the blink strike.
Just keep spamming it. He needs to probably blink away, or at least make a run for the tower. Yep, blinks away. Every time he's going in for this farm now, he's got 12 CS, which is decent, but not amazing. Fissure block mid. Matu doesn't actually get stunned by this one. He just gets blocked off. Moon falls off with an Abatos and will find the kill. So nice block from Jabs, even if he doesn't hit the stun. Back at top, though, Ninja Boogie once again. We've seen this story before, and Mineski are just coming to hate this story. They go down once again. Their biggest nightmare is this top lane.
And even though he can still get last hits with Dagger, all it's doing is fueling mana for the enemy heroes because they both have magic sticks. So any ground that they're getting here is just feeling like an uphill battle.
Yeah, Enchantress hasn't even had to skill up the Nature's Attendant. That is how well this lane has gone. Just going through 2 and untouchable. Now gets at level 4. Back at bottom, Miracle. Playing fine line here. Has some tangos here. Has a bottle queued up as well. Probably love to be able to farm that before the 5-minute mark to refill it on Bounty Runes. Back at top, GH though, find 3 heroes here. Gets the Boulder Smash as the shackles come out, so he immediately cancels it. Oh my. Nothing was
great
going Mineski's way. It was a fantastic play.
I mean, I don't know if they get that kill either way. GH still had a lot of HP, and it's like Hero's not right-clicking, but...
Size. Trying to bait in Miracle. He needs to be careful. He's got Fairy Fire. He's actually the one baiting, and Miracle and Kuro get the kill. Didn't even need to use the Fairy Fire. Perfectly played. Back at top, though. Action doesn't stop. Mushi, full retreat here. The fissure block going to help bail him out and save his life.
Oh, they got bounties out of this, though. Can Jabs get it? He's got boots himself.
They're trying to save the bounty so Miracle can bottle them down bottom, it looks like. Okay, he's just going to pick it up. I was about to say, it looked like he wanted to buy the bottle, use charges, and then refill it, which is always a very useful thing if you to do if you can get that like 5-minute bottle.
Yeah, I think he could have saved the one across his river at least. I don't blame Kuro for grabbing one, worried about enemies, but...
He didn't have the money for the bottle then, though. It was like by picking it up, he had enough money. Maybe if he had a bit more gold.
At least they get Bloods bounties on Mineski's side, and they actually are about 1k behind, which is not an insignificant amount. Top tower being pressured, they steal the first catapult too, so very reminiscent of last game.
Classic Ench things. I feel like every Ench game we're seeing this, 5 minutes you usually take or at least severely damage a tier 1.
And he's just tanking the creep wave too. He's got 2 points in untouchable, so the amount of money he's taken from this creep wave is almost nothing.
Yep.
Tower's dead.
And 6 charges too to play around with, so Matu looking for a bottle. Bounty rune, Bounty rune, sorry, not bounty rune. It's going to get caught out as he gets Avatos, but still alive though. Had some sick charges to play around with, and it's going to get turned around on Jabs, who gets brought down by GH. Moon trying to chase GH, does hit him, and needs to just throw the tree. Gets the kill, actually going with the way of Mushi here, so Kuro instead going to get chased down now as well. It looks like the stifling daggers from Mushi. It's a roaming PA, and well, that's going to roam and get you a couple of kills here. It looks like Mushi would love to get the last hits on these, and he does. He gets a double kill. GH's roll in comes a little bit too late, and he may be a third. GH had a great start, but he may have just rolled into his death. Hits the 3-man stun, still alive for now. Pugna from the low ground, draining Ninja Boogie, but can't quite bring him down. Triple kill for Mushi. Miracle shows up, has the Beatles here, throws him out, doesn't catch Mushi with him, but catches Ninja Boogie, who has to clear it. And unfortunately for Ninja Boogie, he does not have a TP, so he will be Shikuchi'd on after. Needs to find some trees to juke with, doesn't have any. And double kill for Miracle as he rotates on in.
Man, felt like an amazing little trade there for Mushi getting a triple kill as PA, but yeah, the cleanup kills were huge for Miracle on the back line, so kind of both carries getting a lot out of that.
Yep.
But he does get an Aqua at least. It's all about damage increase for PA, so this is a good start for him.
Dire's top tower is being attacked like nobody's business.
Pressured the second he goes up top. Miracle follows him, so a bit of a lane swap from the Liquid Cores. They send Enchantress down bottom. Actually managed to, well, initially steal a Siege Creep, but tanked a few too many tower shots, so it will get taken out, so it won't be able to pressure the tower all too much. But perhaps just wanting this Ench in the lane where the Necro is, since you can purge off that Ghost Shroud if you want to go for a kill.
So the supports do spot each other a little bit. Ninja wanting to maybe get a kill on this Weaver, but with the Venge here, there's no way they're going to try this with Mushi at half health. It's got 1 sticks, 1 charges at least. Snagging Weaver kills is tough here with how many items he has.
Roll in bottom lane. Boulder Smash to follow it up. Necrophos would be in some trouble here. Getting chunked away at by Mind Control, but doesn't quite have the damage to finish off the kill initially. And Moon, he's here. Invis, it was a bait. They get the Avatos with a Reaper. Perfectly played by Mineski. Nice ice, just tempting just enough for Mind Control to come on in.
Great play by Moon as well. Popping the Invis, starting your TP immediately afterwards during the Fade time, and you get that easy initiation. Those are the kind of runes that really change the game in a big way.
Toss in mid. They're going to throw the Shaker in, looking for Matu, but didn't get the insta-totem stun, and it's actually Matu who turns around and does much more damage on the Jabs.
You saw it coming. It's daytime. Yep. They've got an Observer Ward as well, so it was pretty clear. And enough toss into stun stuff that's happened last couple games of this tournament that they were onto that.
Miracle back up top, just continuing the pressure, starting to damage this tier 2 tower as a glyph does come out on the Dire side. Really early on, Miracle may just be able to help take down this tier 2 tower, playing behind it. As Mineski need to bring up more heroes if they want to defend this tier 2.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Needs to be a little bit careful. There's a lot of Mineski heroes rotating on up here. Avalanche coming up from the Tiny, going to catch up Kuro. Fissure followed up. Moon doing good damage here. Both supports on Liquid could be in some trouble here. Mineski finding some kills, potentially. The Stifling Dagger will take out the Venge here. Mushi once more. He's incredibly low here. The Hex will save his life. Miracle getting chain disabled here. The Hex into the Shackles, into the Totem. He gets the time-lapse off, though. Shikuchi away as well. Oh, but there's a Fissure. They didn't even have detection, I believe. They had one sentry there they hadn't planted, but with the time-lapse off, he almost got away, but very nicely salvaged by Mineski.
That was a huge fight, actually. It's like a 1,500 gold swing, but even with that, they're just barely behind on gold. Necro realizing his mistake here now, brought into a trap. It's going to block some damage and some time, but with the enchant dispel, he's going to fall with the Mutumba rotation.
Sure, Machi's like, dude, why are you dispelling that? Keep it on him. I want that bonus damage.
That would actually been pretty crazy. Might have one-shot him with Nether Blast. He's got the raindrop, I guess, but... and it's a Blade Mail Rush, actually, on Necro, which I don't think is a terrible idea this game. Again, squishy heroes on Liquid we point out in the draft, and if that's the case and you're a tanky person yourself, Blade Mail can go a long ways.
It's when you're versing these heroes where they can't really stop doing damage to you. Like the Enchantress, you throw some Impetus, they're mid-air, you can Blade Mail before they land. And the other big one is the Pug, the Life Drain. I mean, he can stop it, but you're not getting Life Drained as much, or at least you're reducing the heal on Pugna, even though you're taking damage.
You won't get the heal. I'd say it's better for probably Weaver and Enchantress are the big ones, and Pugna, Decrep Blast kind of stuff. Life Drain not the best, but he can always interrupt that with Reaper Scythe and stuff. So, not a bad idea, especially as much minus armor as there is. There's the Weaver bugs, there's the Wave of Terror for Venge. I think a little bit of armor is going to suit him better than it might in this game.
Normally you don't think armor on Necro because of Ghost Shroud, but this is a game where you can't rely on it, so getting an armor item does make a lot of sense. Bottom lane, they're going to roll on in, get a Boulder Smash to fold up on Tiny. Silence will catch the Necro, but not Moon. Fissure kind of disjointed the initiation of Liquid there, so...
Yeah. And status resistance, again, just always being such a big thing. Lowering the Decrep, slow him out, he gets out pretty quick. So they move Mushi to the mid lane. He's going for a phase into an Aquila, so his damage is quite high now. You're just going to see his crits matter, certainly to some of these heroes. But his positioning is always very based on being backed up by somebody else. So even though he's doing okay, it's costing a lot of hero resources, which means that defending towers like this isn't going to be possible.
Yeah, Matu has Aether Lens, so he can just use his spells from such long range. We saw there Decrep Blast, Life Drain on a Necro. Took away like 400 or 500 health, and Liquid almost posed a threat there. That long-range Decrep could set up something like a Rolling Boulder, and suddenly you're looking at a kill.
They got an Invis-Rune, though, on Moon, so very similar to what we saw earlier when they got a kill. And this wasn't spotted either by Liquid. They know there isn't a rune there, and I don't know if they spotted the top rune just yet. I think Kuro has checked it, so they know there's a rune, they just don't know what it is. And we'll see if they can use a sentry. They put one down in the mid lane just to cover, and maybe Moon will walk through it. We'll see where he ends up heading. Maybe he's going to go for Mind Control bottom, go for another Reaper kill.
Back on the other side of the map, it's actually Liquid who have smoked up themselves. They were near a Dire Ward. Not sure if it's spotted them. It doesn't look like it because Mushi's going to run right into this one. Got the Rolling Boulder perfectly placed by GH, and they'll bring him down. Back at bottom, though, it's the rotation from Mineski. Reaper not going to be enough. The level 1 heal only, but with a Cloak Ogre Club, Mind Control survives through the damage.
Very tanky guy right there. It's hard with level 1 Reapers, and once he gets the cloak and he's got power treads too, just very smart itemization from him.
I imagine he'll go magic resistance at level 10 even if he wants to, or he could at least.
Yeah, I could see that.
And there's the top tier 2 going down.
Ooh.
Getting harassed a lot.
He's got a TP out here, so he rotates all the way down here. They try to get a 2v1 kill. They're unsuccessful. Their PA dies in the meantime. The tier 2 tower top dies, and Liquid is just completely controlling the map. They're all getting really tanky too, and it kind of reminds me of the previous game a bit. It's like, there's a lot of bursts on Mineski's side, but if Liquid just buys a couple survivability items, all of a sudden the whole game changes, and Mineski has to commit a lot of heroes to getting these kills.
Look up from Ninja Boogie at least, a solo smoke it looks like. An interesting call from him as Tiny does not really want to get involved, trying to fish a Blink Dagger, but while this is all going on, Mushi has been found at the top lane. First Magnetize of the game will bring him down. Spirit camper there. Still has a couple of stones to play around with as well. So it looks like the smoke from Ninja Boogie just being used to plant down some aggressive wards. Not to be a little bit careful here. He's playing around a Hasted Tiny as well as a Shadow Shaman. But Liquid have full of extra heroes in the area.
I like how GH is playing around Weaver this whole game, because he knows that he's still a bit vulnerable here. Maybe see Moon get a kill though.
It's just a Kuro Venge. He's just running in circles. He's trying to dodge the avalanche, and there isn't even an avalanche to worry about. He swaps himself out. Mind control's there, and it forces a TP from Moon. Stun GH. Ooh. Not sure if he had time to get that one off, and he didn't think so either, so doesn't go for it, as would find themselves not even losing Kuro there. Perhaps revealing that Mineski had vision on him with the Tiny making a beeline for him, but finding the D ward.
It was just a small mistake from Moon there. Maybe expected the toss to do a bit more, but the raindrop making a huge difference and just barely survived. Maybe if they also just went for the fissure, but I think Jab just wanted to play it safe. Save the fissure, use it for something else, and ultimately cost them. So that's not like 2 rotations now that aren't working while their laning stage isn't going well. So this is becoming kind of catastrophic. Much worse than Mineski's lead was towards Liquid last game.
Like a bottom Necro, blast into Life Drain, gonna get countered by Moon, who does get the combo off with a Reaper and an Avatos. Takes Pugna out of the game for 45 seconds. That's
a good grab release, finally taking him out. But Mushi being pressured top by Miracle, and Miracle just has so much more HP and stats at this point that Mushi's just gotta leave.
And he's pretty close to going down even there, 100 health. One more right click with that minus armor may have just sealed the deal, or just a blur. Not proccing.
I don't blame him for going Deso Rush though. Like kind of in the past, PAs would be doing like a Battle Fury, but I think he needs Deso to get online. He needs to be able to do damage. They need some way to set up Reaper side kills.
That bottom wards were dropped, trying to take this T1 tower. Mind control. Not even going to go for the Knight. He's just going to TP his way out of there. Back to the tier 2, in fact, so he needs to be careful. He's still playing around very dangerous territory here. Has a Tiny, in fact, behind him that he's about to run into.
He's got so much HP, though.
Yeah. Actually, it's Moon who's afraid of him. Okay.
The random mud golem.
Any body block, he's going for it. The toss, though.
Oh, barely
ends up playing. No, they're not done. They're going to swap into a stun. They're going to bring down Moon here. He's right in his mind to try and just TP out there because he was not in a safe place, but unluckily for him, Enchantress had that mud golem.
Yeah, he's maxed out Enchant second, so it's 10-second cooldown. You can cast this all the time. You can have creeps in the area. So just kind of lucky, I guess, that he has it, or maybe he has been anticipating this. Like, he knows he's the top dog this game. He does the most damage. Nobody can really kill him, so if he finds anybody, they either have to lose half their health or they have to TP home.
Putting Mineski in a tougher and tougher spot. They now have the 5k gold deficit that Liquid had in game 1 around this stage, but we'll have to see if they have the kind of comeback potential and playmaking ability that Liquid showed.
P has almost got his Deso. One more last hit and he'll have it, so this is where things will maybe turn around a bit. Choice disable on a Weaver, absolutely they can get a kill with a lucky crit or 2.
Okay, up flame, Weaver. Once again, just looking to zone out Mushi. Mushi's trying to bait this one, was hoping that we might Shikuchi in, but it seems Miracle is wizened up to this one. He's gonna Kuchi his way out of there, and the Tiny blink into the trees guesses wrong to Miracle's positioning, and he will counterplay that smoke gank at Liquid. They're the ones coming in from behind. They catch Moon on the backlines here. There's going to be a decrypt life drain, not doing a huge amount of damage, and a pause, a very untimely one, but perhaps a necessary one, as it looks like a player PC has had some issues here.
That was my guess. The Necro is kind of just staying on his trajectory despite his allies getting initiated on, so I mean, it's not terrible for Mineski, I must say. They went for a wave of terror. They decrypt blasted to go on the Tiny, and he is in a little bit of trouble. They're about to swap him back into more danger, so very likely he dies, but maybe they can get a return kill on GH.
Jabs is quite far away in his Shaker. He's way further down. Could maybe get a fissure out, but it's maybe getting close. We'll see what happens here as we unpause back in the game. The swap is there. Moon, Avalanche doesn't actually hit Matu. As the Tosco's flying as well, Moon getting brought down very low. The Reaper doesn't get the initial kill, but does still...
Oh, they ward blocked themselves.
Oh, that's
They can't get through.
And Jabs is like, I'm on the wrong side of this one, but they get 2 kills out of it. They could have just maybe even been even better. The wards were not blocking that pathway there. Mushi with his Desolator completed, would love to find somebody else to jump on, but just doesn't have that target. And while this is all going on, Mind Control's down bottom with a siege creep, and he is pushing a tier 2 tower.
It's not all bad for them. It's a small gold advantage there. Not going to do everything, but they get the D ward. Really unfortunate. It looked like there was space for them to get through, but the ward's blocking them off. They didn't get any fallout. Maybe lost an extra kill or two, so pretty costly, I guess. But
Chantress rushing MKP, by the way, against
good
PA.
choice. Yeah, that's the way to go. I mean, it's not that expensive an item these days. It does what, mixed magic damage. It'll be useful. PA does not have that much evasion right now, so he's just hedging his bets, that's for sure.
He will, yeah, eventually have the evasion, I guess, though.
He will, yeah.
Liquid into the Roche pit they go, between the Wave of Terror and the Untouchable. Roche should be pretty standard, straightforward for them. They've even found an Alpha Wolf. So all of the auras, damage bonus, 42% bonus damage coming out, and that's with level 1 Bench aura.
Jeez.
Maxed out Bench, you're looking at 60% bonus damage.
They are a little slow on the Roche kill, but it's completely worth it here because Mineski doesn't even feel safe separating too much. They're moving in packs of 2 because that's all they can do safety-wise. So Aegis comes up, Miracle's going to snag it, and now he's kind of in territory where he's an absolute monster. You got the Mana Break talent. He's had Dragonlance. He's now finished Diffusal Blade, so he's draining 70 mana per attack. And at this stage in the game, there's not a lot of mana on some of these crucial heroes like Tiny. So if he hits a backline and drains people fully, or even a PA, it feels like he can just take them out of the fight.
Yep. Higher Scan not going to spot this Liquid rotation. They smoke all the way around. Moon's going to be the one on the high ground here. Immediate swap as Kura puts himself in the firing line, gets the Matu Pugna back out to safety. Necrophos is just going down to all this magic damage. Liquid are just melting Mineski. They take Tiny out with the Mind Control of Pegasus. They've got 4 dead immediately. The 5th Jabs is teeping out from the trees. GH couldn't quite find him, and that fight was just over in seconds.
Yeah, it's really cool how Liquid did it, though. They left Miracle on the top lane with his Weaver, and then the other 4 smoked wrapped to the other side where they expected Mineski to be going for their own bounty runes. So the big difference, though, is that at this 20-minute mark, it becomes nighttime. And when that's the case, Liquid should have had a disadvantage because they were on the low ground, but everybody's vision went down so much that they weren't able to quite kill Matoma Man initially. But the Crow save was actually huge. I'm sure that was a huge part of that. If they're able to kill Pugna right at the start of the fight with a Reaper Scythe, then there is a Nether Ward, there is a Decreps or Life Drain. Everybody can kind of do what they want on Mineski's side.
The DD on the Weaver as well, which made it even trickier for them. But
yeah, and he gets the TP to the shrine too, so he even got to be at the fight despite getting the top bounties.
Yeah, and it was a true team effort. I was looking at the recap there. It was like 4 different heroes did roughly 1,600 damage there a piece. So it wasn't like one hero was just carrying through this fight. So even if someone like Pugna goes down, there's still plenty of damage upward coming out. Boulder Smash, what a play from GH there. Caught 3. As you can see there in the replay, and the fissure kind of working against Mineski because it made it very difficult for them to get to these key targets here.
Yeah.
And as much as the Pugna was initially in a bit of a tough position there, the Kuro save led to Pugna just being in a very safe spot, life draining the Necro away.
Exactly, because without vision like that, if the guy you want to kill disappears and there's Avenge there, you don't really want to ulti him because he's already used his crucial ability to save some engagement. And then there's nobody low enough to get Reaper Scythe, so it's like everybody just has that moment of hesitation, and then the fight gets out of hand really fast. So definitely helps if you see the guy you want to kill, everybody knows I want to kill him, they throw the damage, you get the Reaper Scythe, and then the rest of the team fight follows. Liquid just playing really well. It's 10k gold advantage now.
Just 22 minutes as well. Let's see what Mineski have to say about it. They are building towards BKB on Mushi's PA. Blade Mail into Hood for Ice Ice's Necro, but he has just been having a rough time because of draft he's up against. And hey, they're ready to start poking around at this high ground here. They've got the mid-tier 3 tower down to below half health, and they're going to start blasting away at this bottom one with the Bugner Aether Lens. They can do this very safely and securely. He's even got an Aeon Dish should he get jumped here. They want, they'll just get this tier 3 tower over time. Miracle still has the Aegis.
Oh, they didn't go in at the same time. Definitely could have been the first Weaver killed there.
I don't know if they wanted to Reaper him, though, with the Aegis.
The backline, they're going to end up finding Shaman. Only a solo kill, a little expensive for the Earth Spirit ulti, but considering their advantage, absolutely worth it for a single pickup.
Yep. For the high ground ward that gets immediately removed, and All Mushi can do is split push the mid T1 tower, trying to get what gold he can. The Reaper completely getting negated. I don't know if Mineski had seen the Aeon disc. They sure as hell didn't play like it because they just wasted the Necro ultimate. Weaver's gone chasing in, looking for Moon, won't find the kill because he gets Hex up. The swap back going to catch out Ice. That should be the death of him. And the Surf Mord's being placed, but don't really see them doing a whole lot here. They can be cleaned up if Liquid want to commit for them. On the backlines is Miracle, who's just having a field day with these heroes.
I mean, at least they put the wards down. It's going to clear the creep wave at least, so they can't easily just hit buildings. They're losing some health. Here comes the burst, and he's
surviving, gets a Spirit Vessel charge as well. The Echo Slam is there though. Jabs will save the day with his fresh picked up Blink Dagger. Gets a couple kills for paper with his life though, and the fight not over just yet. Ice has got charging into 3 heroes, and that's not the place you want to be. Not with a Spirit Vessel charging you. No kills for you, say Liquid. Boulder Smash not even needed, just goes flying through his corpse. Puts Mineski on the back foot. They've still got PA and Tiny alive though. Liquid need to be careful about this one, but with Aegis on Miracle's hands, he's feeling pretty good about himself here. Does have to worry about the Aegis expiring. 10 seconds left on this one. Miracle needs to make sure the heal does not get cancelled. Kuchi on up. Gonna be removed any second now. Oh, they go in as it expires. Does cancel the heal here. Miracle has to be very careful. He's just lost all of his health. Lost his Aegis as well. Moon brought down though. He overcommitted to try and go for that Weaver. He timed it perfectly with the Roche timer, but didn't have the detection to bring down the Weaver. And now Enchantress, MKB. Oh, big crit from Mushi with a fissure. Actually brings down the Enchantress, but pays for it with his life. And Liquid are on the high ground with 4 dead for now, 1 respawning soon, but they'll get the melee barracks.
You can really feel the impact of them being a little bit too far behind. If they're able to kill the Pugna instead of having to commit an Echo Slam, then you can save the Echo for another hero initiation or follow-up. But they're just having to spend a few too many spells to try to catch up here. And in the meantime, Liquid has amazing pushing with the Nether Blast and the Weaver right-clicks. But they're going to go back and play a little safe. The Enchant is dead. That's fine. They got the racks. They've got more gold to spend. Go collect the bounties, get more map control, and then Mineski's going to be left respawning, ready to try to group up and try to get a kill somewhere.
Yep. I mean, good place to be for Liquid here. The racks this early on, and this kind of a lead feels pretty insurmountable. We'll take another look at it here. Tiny, he timed it perfectly. Unfortunately, there was no detection. If he gets an actual full Avatos combo off as the Aegis expires, that would have been a dead Weaver, but
I think it was just a case of both of the players realizing what was at stake.
Yes.
Miracle knew. He goes back just in time. Necro in trouble in the mid lane though is going to put a Blade Melt down, but they've got so much HP it doesn't even matter. Gets killed instantly, and another decrypt on Tiny. He's in trouble. Gets stunned. Spirit Vessel. Now the Diffusal Blade. He's taking a lot of right-click damage from Miracle. He hits real hard.
Yeah, that's just like a couple Gemini attacks, and suddenly he's out of the picture. At least feels like that way. And T3 Tower easily brought down just because Pugna can blast it from so far away. Now Liquid might be feeling pretty happy about themselves. They'll fall back and deal with some of these shrines.
They do have a BKB on PA at least, so he's going to feel comfortable committing to fights, but he does still have to worry about Enchantress right-clicks with the Monkey King bar.
Yep.
He's going to be able to hit impetuses reliably through BKB, and that's all pure damage.
Can they blow up the Weaver? Miracle, Blink, Echo, Totem, Fissure. Can they get a crit here? They get 1. It's going to be just enough to bring down the Weaver. Is that worth an Echo Slam? Probably, if they don't lose too much in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit of a downside that Earthshaker got the kill as well. I think I would have liked to have 1,000 gold on PA, but either way, still worth it, most likely, considering the position they're in. PA still gets about 300 out of it. Not terrible, but can Jabs turn that gold into something useful? And he's queuing up a Refresher Orb. That is one way to do it. Not a common Earthshaker item. Never the second thing you buy. And he's also got Tranquil Boots, so this looks really, really iffy. But
this is one of those Echo, Refresh, Sit and Fountain, and then go Echo again. There's no, we're probably not going to see a double Echo in a team fight with his current mana pool.
But if he can, nobody would expect that at the 30-minute mark from a team that's losing. And hypothetically, if Liquid does get grouped up, you could easily see them get wiped, not expecting that much damage.
Mushi gets greedy for a tier 1 tower. He's just going to BKB. He needs to find a way out of this one. Goes for the TP. There's a swap, though, and I think Mushi perhaps thought BKB TP was unstoppable in that moment. Doesn't find his way out, and that's even his 10-second BKB being used.
That's a giant mistake. It's the only way to explain that one. 10-second BKB, gets a tier 1 tower, still ends up getting killed by the enemy team. That was a tough one.
He knew the Weaver's dead, and he's thinking, oh, this is just a 100 health tier 1 tower. We can take this, right? It's safe. No, it's Liquid. Even with 4 heroes, have plenty of tools to kill you, and particularly stop your BKB TP out.
I have no reason to.
In the meantime, Moon farming across the map. Ice is pushing out the bot lane, still trying to get his next item, thinking about getting a pipe for survivability reasons. Will be helpful, especially against heroes like Necro, or against Pugna, but...
I mean, he's already got the hood. I guess the pipe actual AoE aspect doesn't stand out as being amazing to me, though.
I mean, AoE damage, like damage block is amazing if you're reducing, or if you're amplifying damage. So things like Decrep and Veil is really good to have damage block against. So it is beneficial for his team, but maybe he needs damage or something. Looks like Shadow Shaman's going to die in the safe lane here, just trying to push out the wave. But this Observer Ward they placed earlier, great spot on it, very deep and difficult to spot it. So easy kill there, and that's going to make the high ground push a little bit easier.
There's a throwback. 2009 Dota 1 days. For feeling like a noob. Not feeling like a bit of a noob right now. He just outplayed Mushi, took him down in the top lane with the swap, and Moon's next.
Swaps at the perfect time, mid-4 staff, so it cancels both of his mobility items and a guaranteed kill when he's out of position. They can't even come forward and destroy the sentry.
Yeah, they want to get rid of these wards, but...
Does pipe the buildings at least, so buys them a little bit of health.
There you go.
But there's a tiny buyback. How can they find an initiation? It's going to be hard. They've got a ward on the high ground. Jabs knows that they can see him. How's he going to find an opening?
And this Nether Blast is just going to be just leading these racks in a couple of seconds here. Echo Slam goes in. It's just going to catch out GH here. No, it's actually going to include the Weaver. No, Weaver's outside. He gets away just in time. Mushi in full retreat here. Has a beetle on him, so he's being chased down. Only Earth Spirit dying on the Liquid side. Immediate buyback, as well as the Mineski deaths. Shaker wants back in, knows he needs to defend, but already the racks are dead. Matu able to just blast them both down simultaneously. Moon 4-star out of the life drain, but Tiny with a 4-star does not feel good right now. 30 minutes in, you're down 2 full lanes of racks, and you just have no way to scale as a carry.
They're taking building hits. They need to find an opening somehow, but they've got no Reaper Scythe. They've got no Echo Slam. Maybe they're going to toss in their Earthshaker or something. That's what it kind of looks like. Tossing it back over the follow.
Find the Fissure, so keeps him inside the base, but Kuro, he's there with the in. He goes on the outside. Jabs needs to be careful, though. That's a dive back from him, and Weaver also going to buy back and time-lapse in. Miracle, full health immediately. The swap save from Kuro was nice, but Jabs made sure they could finish off the kill. Unfortunately for Mineski, I believe this is going to be the end, at least the end of their racks here, and perhaps this series as a whole. Mineski, they fought to the bitter end, and they're going to keep on fighting, but down Mega Creeps, there's just not really much of a play to be made. They have no wave, they have no Battle Fury on PA, no items on Tiny. They're trying to just get the last couple of kills here, but it's just misery, despair, and death for them, as Moon will be the last death of the game.
It's
going to go to Matu.
Wants an extra kill on the board to help out his team. So what a team fight and what a game from Liquid. I mean, game 1 looked a little rough, but watching game 2 now, it just felt like that laning stage from Mineski was an outdraft and a fluke, because this game 2 felt so simple.